Hi, this is Raquel of the YogaSlackers. In this slackline conditioning session, we're going to be working on our core. While every slackline session works your core, on this one in particular, we're going to focus on using our core to maintain our stability and improve our balance. Let's start. Prepare for pointer. Go to the middle of the line and connect opposite knee and hand to the slack line. The gaze is forwards or slightly down. While holding pointer, focus on bringing the ribs slightly in, limiting the amount of movements created through the core. So in this position in particular, we're working on maintaining our stability. Pointer is also a great pose to work on your glutes. Focus on keeping the free leg up and completely straight. Continue holding pointer or move towards elbow to knee repetitions. At this time, we are going to attempt to touch our opposite elbow and knee together right on top of the slack line. After every attempt, make sure you find the full expression of the original pose, in this case pointer. Prioritize your form over increasing the number of repetitions. Continue holding pointer and move towards hand to foot taps. From the full extension of your pointer pose, bend the leg at the knee as you bring your foot towards your glutes, while at the same time reach your straight arm backwards. You may or may not find your foot. Return to pointer and try again. Combo. Alternate between an elbow to knee and a hand to foot tap. Just as in the previous poses, prioritize holding pointer over attempting to touch your elbow, knee, hand to foot, and then falling off the slack line. The goal is to fall towards the original pose. In this case, pointer. Rest in Mermaid or in any position that allows you to relax your core, catch up with your breath, and get ready for doing the second side. On this practice in particular, I decided to go with Mermaid and a version of Mermaid forward fold. If at any time during this sequence, any of the poses become too challenging for you, there's always the option to come off the line and practice the same move on the ground. This is going to further prepare you to do the transitions or the drills on the slack line. Transition to pointer on your second side. If at any point during this sequence you start feeling any discomfort on your lower back, this is a good sign that you are losing your core by either overarching or over crunching. The idea is to use their core to maintain your stability and to maintain the natural curvatures of the lower back. Elbow to knee on your second side. Once more, prioritizing touching the elbow and the knee right on top of the slack line. Or moving your elbow towards your knee and returning to that original pointer position. Touching is not required. Stay on that side and continue practicing pointer, now attempting to touch your hand and foot together. Or moving your hand towards your foot. The trick here is to keep the free leg as high as possible and bend only at the knee. Put both moves together in a combo, one elbow to knee, followed by a hand to foot tap. Remember to find the full expression of pointer between each attempt. Take a moment to rest in Mermaid forward fold, or any position that allows you to catch your breath. We're going to meet again in a minute, balancing on the middle of the line for double knees. You got this. Take some time to reconnect with your breath. The goal of slackline yoga is to put ourselves on these awkward positions while balancing on this thin, stretched out, long yoga mat, with the intention to maintain control of our breath, relax our body, and relax our mind, staying calm regardless of the situation. Let's keep that in mind as we continue practicing. Balance in double knees. This is another great position to practice on the ground or on the slackline. If you are practicing on the ground, make sure that you're balancing only on your knees and your feet are not touching. We're gonna hold this pose for several repetitions. On this one, attempt a very simple and relaxed double knee position. While holding double knees, we're going to work on our range of motion. Go as low as you can, bringing your chest towards your knees, and then go as high as you can. While the arms are going to want to do the entire balance, attempt to balance from your core. Hold the bottom position. Bring your chest as low as possible. Observe how your hips need to travel backwards to help you maintain your balance. The hands can stay low, and we're trying to maintain the arms relaxed. The ribs stay slightly tucked in. Hold double knees while staying on the highest position. Keep the ribs in and focus on opening your hip joint, moving the hips forwards while you move the ribs slightly in. You can allow the arms to stay relaxed next to you, or think about your handstands and extend the arms overhead. Transition to the end of the line for slacker stance. We're gonna start standing on our right foot. As you hold slacker stance, prioritize maintaining your extremities straight. Then, observe how you can use the core to maintain the stability in the pose. Check in to make sure that the ribs are not flaring out. Continue holding slacker stance. This time we're going to attempt to touch our left knee with our right hand. If this feels comfortable, then move towards touching your elbow to your knee, crossing the midline. Continue holding slacker stance. This time we're going to lift the left knee towards your chest and then extend the leg in front of you. If you can hold your balance, then attempt touching your right hand to your left foot. Return to slacker stance and try again. Transition to slacker stance, now balancing on your left foot. Remember, if at any point during this practice you fall off the line, just get back on the line and practice again. You do not need to hold the pose on the line through the entire time period. Elbow to knee or hand to knee. Hand to foot taps. You can also think about this pose as a hand to big toe preparation, because we're working on lifting the leg straight in front of us, which is a great core workout. Transition to the middle of the line for exposure. If standing in exposure is not part of your practice, you can go ahead and practice double knee balance once more. And the next moves are also going to be possible while holding double knee balance. Single leg transfers. While holding exposure, transfer your weight to one side and see if you can remove the foot off the line. Return to exposure, transfer the weight to the other side, removing the second foot. Start by working on shifting your weight from one side to the other. As you feel more comfortable in this pose, then attempt to lift the foot entirely off the slack line. If you fall off the line, go back into your exposure. If it becomes too challenging, switch from exposure to doing the same balance movement while holding double knees. Having a great double knee balance is the key to having a really good exposure. While holding exposure, continue working on your weight transfers or attempt to tap your hand and opposite knee. This is a really fun and equally challenging pose. If this is not happening while standing on exposure, get off the line and practice it on the ground. If you are new to exposure and you're still balancing on your knees, good for you. I promise, all the time you spend balancing on double knees is going to pay it off eventually. Transition to the Asym sit or shoot the duck. During this period, transition between Asym sit on one side to your arm balance, back to the Asym sit on the other side. If you don't have a spotter or you don't feel comfortable with holding the arm balance on your current line, know that you can still practice the curling sensation and the lifting of the knees while keeping the feet on the ground. Hold the arm balance position. Transition to the end of the line for side plank. Start with the left hand on the slackline. Place your hand as close as you can to the anchor point. This is the most stable position of the slackline. Hold side plank on your left side. Any variation is acceptable, being one foot on the line, one foot and one knee on the line, or simply hold side plank next to your slackline. A great variation is to have one foot, one hand on the slackline and keep the second foot on the ground, focusing on creating the lifting sensation through your body, but still not really finding your free balance. This is also completely acceptable. During the conditioning sessions, remember the goal is not necessarily to hold the pose for the entire time. The goal is to attempt the pose through the entire time, whatever that means for you today. Hold double knees before transitioning to side plank in the other side, or take a moment to rest. Transition to side plank, now holding it with your right hand on the slackline. Do any variation of this pose that feels comfortable for you, be it on the slackline or on the ground. This may be a good time to ask yourself, am I having fun? If the answer is no, or you're becoming frustrated, shake things out. Let it go. Why are you doing this to yourself? This is supposed to be fun. If it's not fun because it's too challenging for you, consider what can you train? What other variation can you do to make this movement eventually attainable for yourself? And do that instead. Transition to the end of the line for seating. We like to sit opposite hip to foot connected to the slackline. In this case, we're going to start with the right foot on the line and the left hip on the slackline. Work on reverse tabletop, up and down. This move is very similar to the arm balance. There's a lot more weight on your hand than you imagine. The more weight you put on your hand, the more stable the position is going to be. The hand and foot connected to the line are on opposite sides of your body. Continue working on the up and down movement or hold the top of the reverse tabletop. You can do this with a free leg, or a way to make this pose more attainable is to maintain the free foot on the ground but have little weight on that foot, working on the stability required and the core strength required to maintain the top position. Switch sides. This time around, we're going to connect our left foot and our right hip to the slackline. Bring the right hand behind you for reverse tabletop up and down movements. Hold the top of the reverse tabletop position. Transition from sitting to laying down and back to sitting. This is a great core workout and is the last variation that we're going to have before resting in Savasana. Switch to the other side, connecting the opposite hip to foot to the slackline. You're almost there. We have only one more drill to go through. Dead bug. This is a variation of laying down where the goal is to lift your feet and your knees towards your chest. This requires a lot of core stability and balance. This may not be the prettiest pose, but it's really effective. Transition to bug on the other side. Our last pose is Savasana. Find a laying down position. Start by connecting your left hip and shoulder on the line. The right foot is on top of the slackline. Do everything in your power to find a relaxed position, a place where you can truly let go. If balancing on the slackline is not relaxing for you, then practice Savasana on the ground. Switch sides. Practice Savasana on your other side. Take deep breaths and feel how the more you relax, the more parts of your body actually make contact with the line. Observe if you can move from feeling like your body is really heavy to feeling that your body is as light as a feather. Your timer is complete. You have finished the YogaSlackers Pure Abs workout. Hope we get to slackline together sometime soon. Bye bye.